So this has been a little bit of prep work, getting this laid out and attached to the walls and set up, irrigation added, socks in, planted, but you can see I'm just about done planting, and I'm going to have a really high production garden in zero space for this year, and this basil is really going to enjoy its position here. We will have successive videos as we go along, as these plants get bigger, as I tend them and harvest them, so stay tuned, like our station here on YouTube, and keep up with what we're doing and watch how this garden goes for the whole season. Thanks. So here I've got some dwarf blue kale, and I'm going to transplant them into these previously used socks. I'm going to do the same type of procedure. You squeeze the cup, pull it, look at the nice roots in there. I started these from seed. I'm just going to set it right here. This is great. Really economical way to have a great garden and a lot of it. So I'm going to set this down, and I'll go ahead and put this first one in. I'm going to start in the center. I always like starting in the center. These are pre-used sock, and so then I pack the soil up against it, up against the plug, and then it's all in there secure. And it's going to take off and continue to root into this Varden sock nicely. I might go a little deeper in that. There we go. Pack up against there. And one more. And you can plant all the way out to the end of these Varden sock. There's plenty of soil volume in there for roots to move throughout the whole thing, and they're going to end up down at the bottom, right on the drip line, sipping up water. So here I have a second type of kale, and this is also a blue kale, but this one here, the seed pack says it's dazzling blue kale. I know it's a bigger version than the one I just planted. And the same operation. These are nicely rooted in the Ellipot. You see the roots there coming through the paper, so I can pull it. And I just pull 3 of these out. Yep, that guy there's going to take a little bit more. There we go. Take a little bit more effort to get out of there. But this is sure a super economical way to grow your garden. Here we go. I'm going to start with this guy. And I'm going to go ahead and start in this one here. I'll start in the center. And these are, again, Varden sock from last year, but it's no problem reusing these things. They're good for years. And there are many people that will want to replace their sock every year, and that's fine too. I'm just trying to be a little more economical and friendly with the resources. There we go. All right, I've got some little Swiss chard, and I grew these from seed in these little 30mm Ellipot plugs, and they're fully rooted all the way through the paper, so now I can pull them easily. And I'll just stack some of them up here so that I'm ready to get to work this. Yeah, there you go. You have to be a little ginger with them, you know. There we go, that little guy there. Okay. And you can see I've already pre-cut holes in a new Varden sock. So what I'm going to do is move this guy over. Let's go ahead and see. I just poke a hole in there with my finger, big enough in the media that this plug will go in, and we're off and running. Same thing here. I move the media around with my finger. It makes a nice spot. I really probably could have cut a little bit bigger hole on that, but it's going in. And then same thing over here. Probably could have cut a bigger hole. In fact, let me just show how this works. Got my knife. Okay, now my hole is a little bit larger. There you go, hole in the mesh. The mesh does not run or tear, so whatever hole you cut is the hole that stays in there. So I pack the soil around this little plug, and it's ready to roll. So just for design purposes, we've got 2 Varden 36 panels right here, and I'm primarily going to set these up with herbs, and I've got 2 species of thyme on the top, rosemary, oregano. I've got a couple of oddball things down here. I've got some lemon balm and some stevia, which I will want because I like to eat those, but I don't need a lot of it, and they grow really well in the vertical garden. So then these other rows here, I'm going to fill in with some sage, and then I might go ahead and put some kale in here just because of space, but I've got 2 species of kale that are going to run through this as well. So it's getting ready to be full. So I finally got my little baby tomatoes. I started from seed. They were big enough to transplant. They had rooted all the way through the 30mm Ellipot plug, and I transplanted them in there. And so we're going to have cherry tomatoes in the center. We're going to have strawberries on the side. I've got to get 3 more strawberries. I'm short. This panel is tied in irrigation-wise with the tray vertical gardens we've got on the side of the garage, and everything's going to water on the same schedule. And what I found is that everything waters beautifully and completely in about 1 minute. So it doesn't take a lot of watering, probably water every other day.